The kind of water that's in the garden shaft, all right. Number 1, I still think the metals are in the water, and we have 2 really good scientists that say it's meaningful. It's not just some sort of fluke. This is significant, they say, eager to believe that these traces are part of a larger puzzle leading to hidden riches. However, could it be that they're merely finding what's naturally there, interpreting the mundane as miraculous because they want to believe so badly? The annual wrap-up is now as predictable as the seasons. They gather, discuss their findings, which are often just enough to stir curiosity but not enough to conclude anything. They plan for the next year, fueled by a mix of hope and stubborn determination. Let's look at what we did and figure out what to do next, they resolve, their optimism undimmed by the reality of yet another fruitless season. Tomorrow, they'll meet again, lay out all their data, theories, and maps, and talk excitedly about the possibilities. They felt let down by the empty dig, but strange findings kept their hopes up and tools ready. Dreams versus reality in treasure hunting. Isn't this cycle a bit exhausting? Hundreds of attempts, endless speculation, and still the treasure they seek, if it even exists, remains a figment of their imagination. They find anomalies in the soil, irregularities in the water, and patterns that could be interpreted as evidence of something more. But these are often just natural occurrences that any piece of land subjected to such intense scrutiny might yield. Yet they keep going, driven by the thrill of the hunt, the camaraderie of the team, and perhaps a touch of greed. Year after year, they return to the island, driven by tales of what could be buried there. The Money Pit, that infamous spot on the island, is their holy grail. It's the center of their quests, the place that keeps their dreams alive. It's not just about finding treasure, it's about the chase, the discoveries, the possibility that this time they might strike it rich. As they pack up their equipment, log their last notes, and shut down the drills for the season, there's a palpable sense of déjà vu. They've been here before, faced the same setbacks, pondered similar clues, and made identical promises about next year. The latest dig at Oak Island turned out to be a huge letdown yet again. This time, the team was all excited about some metal canisters in a particular spot called the garden shaft. They had big plans to drill sideways after reaching 99.5 feet down, but then the site got completely flooded. This sort of thing seems to happen a lot there, like a bad joke where you know the punchline is just more water and mud, not treasure. The excitement had partly been about these weird signals from metal down there. One of the team members, Fred, seemed pretty sure these signals meant there was still something hidden underground. But after drilling into an area they call the Baby Blob, what did they find? Absolutely nothing but more water. Despite that, they're planning to keep on digging around the northeast side, between this blob and the garden shaft, hoping new data might turn things around. Besides this, the team is making a big deal out of finding traces in 3 other spots near the so-called Money Pit area. They're talking up a place they've named Aladdin's Cave, a huge hole in the ground filled with water that supposedly has tiny bits of precious metals and some old wood in it. Watching them get excited about some pieces of wood floating in water is kind of surreal. They're treating these bits like they're valuable artifacts, which just shows how desperate they are to find anything worth talking about. This latest expedition was more about stirring up excitement over what they might find than about actual results. It seems like every time they dig, they end up with more questions and less credibility. The true treasure of Oak Island remains its ability to keep treasure hunters coming back, fueled by hope and the thrill of what might be, rather than what is. These treasure seekers are a stubborn bunch, clinging to their dreams of striking it rich, even though all they keep hitting is rock and water. Let's not forget the tales of legends that have built up around this place. They talk about pirates, ancient artifacts, and lost fortunes, which all sound thrilling enough to keep anyone hooked. But at the end of the day, it's those stories that are the real gems of Oak Island. They bring in TV shows, curious tourists, and hopeful diggers, all drawn by the allure of finding something monumental. Yet the actual digging just seems to lead to more dead ends. As the team digs up one hole after another, chasing after every little clue, it's a cycle of buildup and letdown. The process itself, with big machines and dramatic drills, can look pretty impressive if you're watching from the sidelines. It's easy to get caught up in the drama and the occasional big finds that turn out to be pretty mundane. Each season, they wrap up with grand summaries of their findings, making even the smallest discoveries sound important. Even though another dig failed, hints of old artifacts and beams suggested they might be close to the island's real history. Hyped discoveries and letdowns over on Oak Island. Borehole RF1 became somewhat of a talk of the town back in 2019 when the team dug up some huge wooden beams with old Roman numerals carved into them, sitting deep at over 100 feet underground. Along with these beams, there was also a pickaxe that some folks claimed could be traced back to Scandinavia. Sounds like something straight out of a history book, right? But while it all seems exciting, it's hard not to see it as adding just a bit more fluff to a story that's already packed with more drama than facts. The original depositor suggested there's a good chance there may be treasure at the end of this tunnel. Beautiful. There are more trials in play this year for the discovery of the money pit, right? Well, I think so. Maybe while they were building the money pit, they were living here. It's not out of the question. The Lagina brothers just hit the jackpot, uncovering a treasure worth millions on Oak Island, a discovery that could finally solve a 200-year-old mystery. After years of relentless searching, digging, and following countless clues, Rick and Marty Lagina's unbreakable determination has led them to what could be the greatest treasure haul the island has ever seen. This find isn't just about gold and jewels. It's a monumental moment in a story steeped in intrigue, curses, and whispered legends passed down through generations. With artifacts rumored to be of immense historical value, this discovery is poised to rewrite everything we thought we knew about Oak Island's secretive past. Could this be the legendary treasure that hunters have pursued for centuries? One thing is certain: the Lagina brothers have changed the course of Oak Island history, and the true adventure is just beginning. During the final drilling of the season, Rick identified a new spot not too far from an old garden shack, thinking this could be the big break. They're not just digging random holes, they're looking for specific signs, maybe a hidden room or a special vault buried deep underground. The idea is to drill right there and see what comes up. Meanwhile, Dr. Ian Spooner and Dr. Fred Michael have been conducting new tests around the island. Both have strongly stated that there is a source of the metals they're detecting in this area, and they don't believe it's natural. Dr. Spooner and Dr. Michael are checking the water near the garden shaft and have pinpointed a spot for a new drill hole, calling it E5 and 45. They believe that if they dig about 100 feet down, they might hit upon some valuable metals. The scientists are confident the signs of metal they've found aren't just natural. Instead, they've pinpointed a spot they think could be legendary. With a mix of professional judgment and a touch of gut feeling, they're ready to declare this location as potentially significant. The team is geared up, thinking this could be it, the moment they've been waiting for. As the drill goes deeper and deeper, with each foot of soil and rock removed, the excitement builds. They know this is the last chance for the season. If the drill doesn't work now, they'll have to wait another year to try again. As they watch the drill work, everyone's on edge. The possibilities are tantalizing. What if this is the spot that changes everything? What if they're about to uncover a true hoard, something people will talk about for generations? The hope is that once they get down 50 or 60 feet, they'll be able to drill horizontally or vertically and hopefully find a tunnel leading from this shaft in some direction. Each team member has their own dreams of what finding the treasure could mean: new projects, securing financial futures, or simply being part of history. Yet, they also discuss the practicalities. If they find something significant, how will they handle it? Who needs to be called? There's a plan in place for every possibility. As the day progresses, the team checks and rechecks equipment, reviews notes, and ensures everything is perfect. They know the odds are long, and past false alarms have taught them to keep expectations in check. Still, hope remains powerful. In the background, the drill keeps turning, a constant reminder that they're on the brink of potentially discovering something monumental. They watch, wait, and hope that this time, the last dig of the season, will reveal Oak Island's long-hidden treasures. Each year, as the harsh winter winds begin to blow over Oak Island, Rick, Marty, and Craig find themselves wrapping up another season of digging and dreaming. This year, like so many before, ends with little to show but mounting frustration and a lot of sand. Despite advanced technology and detailed maps pointing to a fortune in precious metals, the treasure remains elusive. The team's anticipation was palpable as they drilled deeper, hoping each new core sample would reveal untold riches. Instead, they found sand, just sand, mocking their high hopes with its gritty monotony. It wasn't just any sand, it was a frustrating mix full of clay, complicating their efforts. Clay-laden sand is difficult to sift through and a poor carrier for water channels they had hoped to find. False alarms and high hopes punctuated their work. Each new sample was met with eagerness and dread, only to reveal the same disappointing result. As the season's window closed, the cold became a biting reminder of their dwindling time. Theories abounded about the frustrating sand-clay mix. Could it support theories of flood tunnels designed to protect whatever was buried? As the operation wound down, there was equipment to clean, logs to review, and data to analyze. The team debated what went wrong and strategized for next year. Treasure hunting is a gamble, often not paying off in the way hunters dream, but the allure of what might lie beneath the surface keeps them returning. For Rick, Marty, Craig, and the crew, the promise of next season offers renewed hope. This season, their focus shifted to a suspected man-made tunnel connected to the ocean, theorized to explain unusual flooding in the garden's shaft area. Could this tunnel be part of an elaborate trap designed to protect the treasure? It's an idea straight out of a pirate tale. Yet, after drilling their 600th well, the repetitive findings beg the question, are they truly onto something, or just digging deeper into a well of fantasies? Despite doubts, the team clings to every piece of evidence, convinced they are one step away from uncovering a treasure that could rewrite history. Then there's Borehole H8, excavated earlier in 2017. Here, the team claimed to have stumbled upon what might be parts of the so-called chapel vault, way down at nearly 180 feet deep. They even found some bits of parchment, and what looked like parts of a leather book cover. Each find sends waves of excitement about what could possibly be hidden below, but so far, it's more about what could be than what actually is. Every season, these discoveries are hyped up as the big break, or the clue that will finally solve everything. Yet, despite all the enthusiasm and backpatting, the tangible results are kind of thin. They keep digging and digging, finding little pieces here and there that might mean something big, or they might not. It's a cycle that's as predictable as it is frustrating for anyone hoping for some real answers. This digging bonanza started with two brothers from Michigan who, as kids, dreamt of finding hidden treasures. Fast forward several decades, and their childhood adventures have turned into a full-scale operation with heavy machinery, big crews, and even bigger TV cameras rolling. Each new piece of wood or metal they find gets everyone talking about the possibilities again. The idea that there's something valuable down there, be it gold, ancient artifacts, or some historically significant objects, keeps everyone on their toes. As the team gears up and digs down, each new layer of earth promises something big, and yet the big reveal is always just out of reach. The operations have become as much about the spectacle and the storytelling as about the actual treasure hunting. With every season's wrap-up, there is a new cliffhanger promising that maybe, just maybe, next year will be the year they crack it. The truth might be that the real value of Oak Island isn't in some buried treasure. The island itself, with its layers of dirt packed with random artifacts, seems to be a treasure trove of never-ending stories. It's these stories that pull in viewers season after season, keeping the legend alive. It's the hunt, the excitement of the what if, that fuels this ongoing saga. The island has turned into a stage for modern treasure hunters, armed with the latest tech, trying to turn old legends into reality. What's more, the social dynamic of the team, the camaraderie, the shared hopes, and the collective drive to keep pushing forward, is a story in itself. They're not just digging for treasure, they're digging for answers, for closure to a story that started long before they came along. Every find, no matter how small, keeps the hope alive and, with it, the spirit of those two young boys from Michigan who once dreamt of finding buried treasures. Yet each season ends with the ground still holding on to its supposed riddles. The real treasure of Oak Island might well be its ability to keep dreams alive, to keep people coming back with shovels in hand and hope in their hearts, chasing after something that might just be an elaborate tale passed down through generations. Oak Island doesn't just have a history of treasure hunters, it's a place where the treasure is the hunt itself, and the story never really ends, it just gets more layers. Could the treasures of Oak Island truly exist, or are we chasing mere legends, possibly overlooking obvious explanations? What do you think? Drop your theories in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more thrilling treasure hunts and riddles uncovered.